Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about getting dressed as a ref, all the equipment that you need to buy. I recently went through my ref training and I've refed some games, and it's quite an interesting experience, and it was very overwhelming at first to know all the things that you needed to buy in terms of clothing, so I want to go over that. First of all, don't forget to subscribe and like below to learn more about beginner adult hockey, things you need to know to get started. And tell me if you have any videos you want to see in the future. So to get started, there are quite a few pieces of equipment that you will need to become a ref. And first of all, I will say there's a couple things that you can reuse as from your playing, but you really probably want to keep it separate eventually. I'll show you the things that I use for both of them. When I go to the rink, I actually go in leggings, which you're going to find that really weird based on what I do next. But part of it has to do with, I talk about this in my hockey videos, part of it has to do with sharing a locker room with men, and then I don't have to go in the bathroom and change my under things. But also because, I don't know, I just like that extra layer. So the first thing you're going to want is bottom padding. And there's a couple different ways that you can do this. I know people that use roller breezers. So your hockey breezers are going to be too big, so you won't be able to use your hockey breezers. But if you have ever played roller hockey, or you have an opportunity to buy a pair of roller hockey breezers, they're actually a lot thinner and they will fit under your ref pants, so that is an option. Another option is the pants come padded already, so you can buy a pair of ref pants that are already padded. What I decided to go with was these that are padded leggings, basically. And so they have the hard shell in the middle. This one is, well, they're actually co-ed, they're not for women or men. I had to take the thing out because it was for a man and that does not fit me, but it's the same. It has the leg thing. So I will show you how to put this on. So these don't offer like that much padding, but they offer enough that if you fall every once in a while, you're going to see there's padding here. Really none back there. There is some here though, in case you get hit by a puck there. These are pretty nice. And you know, I talk in all my hockey videos about how when in hockey, go buy everything used, because very little of it do you need that is needs to be new. Sorry, I just probably out of breath. But as a ref, I bought everything brand new because I don't know any better and I don't know exactly what you need, and I just decided, especially because I'll be making money at this, that it was worth it to me to make that investment. Okay, so those are your pants. And then the shirt is going to be very similar, actually. And I know a lot of people that don't wear anything. This shirt was not the cheapest thing I've ever bought in my life. So I know a lot of people that just don't even wear any padding on the top, and that's okay too, I think, because this doesn't offer a ton of padding, but you'll see that there's padding here. I'll put it on and I'll show you. Okay, so there's padding here, there's padding here, padding here. No padding on the back. But it is nice, and actually I'm kind of thinking about wearing this for hockey too, because this is very nice and very padded. So if you get hit with a puck or something, you're going to be okay. I already got hit in the face, and that was no fun. But it's okay. It happens, you know. So these are going to be the majority of your under things. From there, you are going to want to put on... So here is where things somewhat differ from hockey. I've been using my hockey shin guards, which is totally fine. You can use these. They are a little bit big, so they make ref ones that are going to be smaller and not as hard, I guess. And I have a friend that bought some of those, and he said they still work, but it does hurt a little bit when you fall on your knee. So just so you know, you can do what you want. This for me was more of a money saving thing, because those ref shin guards were like $80 or something like that. So I just decided, you know, one thing at a time. But I promised you in one of my other videos too, I was going to show you the shin tights, which is my new favorite thing. So basically what you do is you put these here, you kind of have to wedge them in, and they just hold your shin guard in place. It really is like the best invention ever invented. And then you don't have to put any tape over it. It's crazy. Ugh. All right, this one clearly got all torn up, but that's okay. I found these on Amazon for like $12, and you can get them in any of the hockey stores pretty much as well. So anyway, you will want shin guards. I know it's weird because when you see a ref, it doesn't look like they're wearing anything, but they actually are. I'm going to put my socks on too because I don't have them on right now. All right. So, and then you want to buy a pair of ref pants, and these are going to be probably any of your local hockey stores, or you can find them anywhere online as well. So these ones are CCMs. I think pretty much everything I have is CCM. They seem to do a good job with ref things. All right. I made the mistake of thinking I could put my shin guards on after my pants. You technically can. I got them on eventually, but it was not the easiest thing. So you know. And so these are really nice because they just tighten up. And actually, this thing fell out, and I don't know how to put it back in. But normally it tightens up just like braziers do. And they're high-waisted, and it's just nice. It's just nice. Okay. So, elbow pads. This is one of the things where a lot of people wear their hockey elbow pads. What I was recommended and what I went with was I bought lacrosse elbow pads, and the reason I did this is because they're going to be a little bit smaller. Still as much protection, but just a little bit smaller. So I really like that. And they have this whole, it's like, why do hockey elbow pads not have this whole piece of lining right there? It's so nice. Okay, you will want elbow pads because if you fall on your elbow, you can get really hurt. So make sure you get some elbow pads. When I say that I just started reffing, even though I'm fairly new, so I've been playing for 5 years, on and off. My first year, I was with women's team, but I couldn't even skate, and so I just went to practices. I didn't go to any other games, and then I took a year off, and then I played another year, but I was in a town we only had an outdoor sheet of ice, and so I only had like 10 games the entire year. And then the next year, I broke my fingers, and so I took that year off. And so really, like seriously been playing for the last about 3 years, and that's, I have a fall-winter team, I have a summer team, and so it's hard to say how long I've been playing, but just so you know, I did just start reffing, and I feel like I'm underqualified. Like I really only ref for like women's games and some of the lower C games, and some of the kids games. But it's not something you can do when you very first start. Like I really had to up my skating and stuff, and I'm a lower C player, and so I kind of feel like, okay, I can just start reffing now. It's not something you can do in the very beginning because I feel like I'm at the very, very bottom and can't do that much. But it's fun. I feel like I've been getting better at skating, and I'm learning more about the game. There are a lot of people that don't like me now. But that happens, right? Because you call something, and they're fine. They get over it, but. Anyway, this is going to be your sweater. You're going to want one of these. This one is, well, it doesn't even have a brand on it. It just has a big Canadian flag on it. So, and then obviously your patch, which you'll get from USA Hockey. Oh, this is a CCM. Look at that. Everything's CCM apparently. The only thing I don't like about this is it's so hard to put on where it like undoes my Velcro on my elbow pad. And then there's literally no way to get in there and readjust them. So that is quite annoying. So it is kind of tight. One of the regulations, you have to make sure that you're zipped all the way up every time you go out there. And then, so there's this. And then, obviously, you can use the same skates. One thing I will say though, and I haven't done this yet, but you need white laces. That is the regulation. And not white laces with the little lines in them like this one has, but like white. And they're not the easiest to find. They only come waxed or non-waxed. I like waxed laces probably because I'm lazy. I don't know. And so you definitely want these. I'm not going to put them on my house. And then you will need a half visored helmet. And so let me put this on even though I don't have my hair up. So I only use a cage basically when I play. So this was very different for me. I like it. I can actually see way better. But so you want this. You will want to put your hair back like normally. So actually, let's just do that so that I can show you. I think my camera is falling. Okay. So, because you will be sweating. I mean, it is work. It is not the easiest thing. I'll probably take my earrings off. It is not the easiest thing in the world to, I mean, you're skating the entire game. Like, you think about when you're playing hockey, you're skating for, you know, a minute, 2 minutes, hopefully not more than that per shift. And when you're reffing, you're out there the whole time. You're not skating as hard, but you're still skating. And so you want to make sure that you are in shape enough. I mean, I definitely wasn't. I think I am now, but a couple of other things I bring. I like to have gloves out there just because I get really cold. I think it's one of those things where people make fun of you for having gloves, but you know what? I'm okay with it. I just got a little cheap pair of these. You can usually find them for $1 or $2, like at Target or whatever. And then a whistle. So our local hockey store only sells the plastic ones for some reason, so I had to order this online. I would recommend having 2 or 3 whistles minimum with you at any given time because they stop working, you know, you lose them, things like that. So make sure you have a whistle. That's kind of the most important part. I do bring water with me every time because it is a lot of work and you will want to stay hydrated. Not too hydrated. I've actually learned my lesson on that. It kind of is hard when you are skating a bunch to be too hydrated because it just kind of swishes around. You didn't need to know that, but and then always have tape with me just in case. So I do bring a couple other things. So I have bags just in my ref hockey bag all the time. So I just bring breakfast bars. You never know when you're just going to be out of energy and you need to eat something. I have another one. This has scissors, very important. This is if something happens with the net, you never know when you're going to have to cut something. So scissors, always very important. I have hair stuff, extra hair things to tie back. Gum. Some people like gum when they're out there. I have yet to do that because I don't multitask that well, but it's very important. And these are all waterproof too, so you can just keep them in your bag. And then I have a notebook and a pen. You actually will want to keep one in your pocket, just a little one, just in case something happens and you need to keep notes. But then also your USA Hockey guidebook as well. I do want to show you also. So this is my hockey, or my ref hockey bag. It is smaller. It's nice because all this fits in there. You don't have to bring the big bag. You don't bring sticks. You just have this nice little bag. So again, this was kind of an investment. But when you think about it, it's cheaper than hockey, and it is actually something that's going to be bringing you money. So those are things to think about if you are considering starting reffing. So I figured with everything, with the USA Hockey registration, with the classes, because you do have to pay just a little bit for your crest and for, you know, all the classes you're taking, and then with all the equipment I purchased, including a brand new helmet, not the skates, obviously, because I already had those. I had to ref about 8 to 10 games to make all that money back, which obviously that's going to be different everywhere, but I figured that's really not bad because then you're just making money. I know people who resubmit their reffing every year and then just ref like 2 games because that pays off that, right? So just to keep their registration updated. So it is worth it, and it's fun, and it gives you kind of a different side of hockey, and I really enjoy it. I don't do it all the time because, like I said, I'm limited in what I can actually ref, but it is super fun. If you're considering it, I would say just go to a class. See if you like it. And you know what? There's no commitment. If you don't like it, then don't do it, but it is pretty fun. So let me know if you have any questions about this. Again, don't forget to subscribe below, and let me know what you want to see next time.